everyone, welcome to another 15 minutes with Devan. I hope you've had a wonderful day. Mine has been brilliant. Any day without trouble and strife is one to be celebrated, in my opinion. The internet has been agog for the past 24 hours because of an Instagram post that Annie Idibia, wife of Tuface Idibia, put up and deleted. Now, the fact that she had that post up for just a few minutes and quickly deleted it, probably she thought through the wisdom of putting the matter on social media and quickly decided to take it down. Well, a few eyes had already seen it. There are screenshots of what she, posted and so on and so forth. She doesn't seem to be very happy at the moment with her husband, Tuface Idibia, one of the biggest music stars Nigeria has ever produced. Reason being that she is incensed, essentially, that he thought it wise to spend, Tuface, for those who, there's need to give a bit of context to this story. Otherwise, quite a number of people will be at sea. Like I mentioned earlier, Tuface Idibia is one of the greatest music stars Nigeria has ever produced. In fact, in my estimation, he can claim credit for being the father of pop music as it exists now in Nigeria. That might be debatable, but this is my opinion. Tuface was there along with Plantation Boys. He started with Plantation Boys, eventually Breakthrough, started his solo career, and since then it's the sky has not even been the limit. It's been the starting point for him. And you will find Tuface's name there already cresting the wave of the music industry in Nigeria from the late 90s, from the late 1990s till date. He's still a force to be reckoned with in the music industry. He was there before Don Jazzy, D'banj, Olamide, Burna Boy, Wizkid, Davido, but Tuface set the tone. So naturally, he is a big deal in Nigeria. Annie Idibia, his wife, well, she's not that much a star, but she also has a claim to fame from, the entertainment industry. She's an actress, one of those in our Nollywood movie industry, and I don't think she has done too badly for herself. Now, the history of their relationship is that through the course of their relationship before they got married, Tuface got involved with a number of other women that he had children with, ended up not marrying them, eventually married Annie, and they've been together now for, I think, about 10 years or so. I'm not very certain about that. But naturally, I know one of the women that had children with him has gone on to marry. The other one has not, and I think she has 3 kids. And that is the person whom Annie and that lady seem to constantly butt heads, at least if what we read online is anything to go by. They don't seem to be particularly fond of each other. And it appears she's the person again that got Annie riled up this time, because apparently Tuface went visiting to see his kids and ended up, staying in the same house with that lady. Well, I can imagine why she wouldn't be thrilled, because anybody your spouse has been in a serious relationship with in the past, even if they ended up not marrying that person is a potential threat, especially where there are children involved, because they had something going. They had something serious. It wasn't, a casual relationship. It was a relationship that lasted years, produced children. So obviously there is something, there is a bond there that is beyond your average, relationship. So I can understand Annie feeling distinctly unhappy about it. I can understand her feelings of frustration, because going by those Instagram posts, that would not even be the first time. These are things that have happened before, and I guess she just lost it and expressed herself on social media. One thing I'll give Annie credit for, she has tried very hard not to bring her marriage issues to social media. She has tried. I think she's done a pretty good job. This was just a slip up. I mean, we're all human beings. We all have moments when we exercise a bit of poor judgment, and the fact that she quickly took it down tells me that it was definitely something out of character. And I'm glad she did take it down. There is a trend nowadays of bringing our deepest, darkest personal issues to social media. It ranges from the top echelons of society, the creme de la creme, to the average Joe. Of late, the Royal House, the British Royal House, has been on all kinds of social media platforms because of Prince Harry and his wife Meghan, who for some reason have decided that the best way they can resolve some really deep-seated, long-lasting family issues is by getting very vocal in the media, both traditional media and social media platforms. I understand Prince Harry is planning to write a tell-all, a book, where even more will be revealed. Well, as for me, I really feel that if you're coming at any family issue from a perspective of resolution, you're looking for how the matter can be solved, bringing it to social media is the worst possible thing you could do. All you do is entertain people, give us content for gossip, which will not last beyond one day, because the truth is, there is no shock value anymore that lasts beyond a few minutes. I will have a whole 15-minute talk on that one. So if the idea is to shock people, or maybe you're just venting, or whatever it is, if it's something to do with serious family issues that require resolution, social media is not the place to go. It doesn't work. This social media trend, I think many of us are so caught up in it that we forget that whatever we post online practically remains there forever. It becomes an indelible footprint, even when you delete it. Like in this instance, for instance, I believe that most of the people that got that content off Instagram quickly did screenshots as soon as the posts came up, because they knew they would want to use it later on, to gain traction to their sites and so on and so forth. But that's only because the content was there for us to make use of anyway. I think the only way to solve deep family disputes is by sitting down together as a family, trying to get to the bottom of what the root cause of the friction is, thinking up possible solutions that might not satisfy everybody, but might be able to keep the peace at least. Truth is, in marriage and in families, in relationships, in any sphere of life, at work, you cannot please everybody at the same time. It's not possible. So if you're able to come up with a strategy that at least keeps peace and resolves one or two of the major disputes, I think it's okay, because it requires a lot of work. It requires a lot of work. In this instance of Annie and Tuface, although she was already in a relationship with Tuface before these other women had children with him, the fact remains that because of those children, there will always be a link between Tuface and the mothers of his children. I'm not even sure whether there are 2 or 3, I'm not very sure. That link will always exist. It's for Tuface now, as the common denominator binding these women together, to look for how best to keep his wife confident in the marriage. As for Annie, naturally, she was already aware of these other women, these other children. She also has to bring herself to a point where, and that's where I'm very careful when I talk about her own side of the story, because I think she has been very mature, at least where online content is concerned. So I don't really know how she has been handling it in her private life, but with regard to bombarding us with things that she doesn't like, what is not working, and this, that, and the other, she has tried to stay private too. So this must have really cut deep for her to come out. I'll only encourage her to keep, she said something about she has been as patient as she can be, but she's not a fool, and so on and so forth. Yes, there comes that time where in a marriage, even in a marriage where you don't have such issues, if you feel as if you're the person who is constantly overlooking things that go wrong so that you keep the peace, you are constantly the person trying to be the bigger man in the picture, there comes a time when you begin to feel like a fool. There comes a time when you begin to feel as if you're being taken for granted, as if you're not appreciated. Now the thing is, when you want your marriage to work, as I'm very sure she does, and I'm sure they're going to overcome this, it's just another small bump in the road. You just have to keep being patient. And you have to keep addressing issues privately between both of you as the issues arise. This thing you did or this thing you are doing, it's making me uncomfortable. It makes me tense. It makes me unhappy. And sometimes you have to say it over and over and over again and bring third parties into the mix before your partner hears what you're saying. Because as long as he keeps coming from a place of, you like bothering yourself too much, Ojari, is it not you I married? If I'd wanted to, I would have married her. Why are you keeping yourself awake at night? That is not the answer. That is not the solution. It's not enough. Because it's the same you that has somehow succeeded in putting her in a place where she feels as if she cannot fall asleep. She cannot afford to be rested in the marriage, and that is dangerous. So this is me calling on Tuface. That if what Annie said, if there's truth to what she said, if she's working with facts, he needs to sit up. He's my brother from Benue State. I admire and respect him for what he has been able to do in the entertainment industry. But this is something that needs to be addressed. So, my dear brother, Tuface, try. Don't focus on the fact that she went to social media. That is what I call deflection. The approach was wrong. Your own approach in solving the problem should not equally be wrong, whereby you focus on, you didn't come to me, you went to social media. That you now focus on that and refuse to deal with the real issue, which is that she doesn't like the fact that you have chosen to go and stay under the same roof with somebody you had a long relationship with before.